Titan Smash with Red Death.
What is going on, everyone? I am Cool Guy, and today we're going to be going over episode 4 of my Destiny Crucible tips. We're going to be talking about the Trials of Osiris. 9 tips to go 9-0 in the tournament, and the goal is to get to the lighthouse. That's what we all want to do, right? You see it on the forums. People are just wishing they could get there, or people are being elitists and are joyous. Regardless, that's what we want, so that's what we're going to try to accomplish. Now, I was first able to play the expansion last week on a Monday. I was a little late to the party, but as fast as I could, as soon as I could, I tried to get into the trials, and I did. So on all 3 characters, I went flawless. I won 23 out of 24 games. This week, same thing on Pantheon. I got all 3 characters through. Now in the background, you're seeing the final match of a flawless on Pantheon. It was an awesome game, very competitive. The guys had us on the ropes. I had a couple really nice clutch moments, a lot of good plays. I went 18-7, so be watching out for those clutch plays. I hope you guys like it. Now, this week is Pantheon. Like I said, large 3-lane map. We're going to be covering strategy, tactics, but not only for Pantheon, but for the upcoming weeks ahead. Now, the goal is to get you in the right position to get the win, getting good angles, getting good shots in, because communication is the key. From the start of the match to the very last kill, that is the most important weapon you guys have. It's communication. So here we go. First, let's state the obvious. Get the Favor, Mercy, and Boon of Osiris. They help tremendously. So you have your buffs. You're ready to go into battle. Tip number 1 is to check out the enemy. Now, well, if your opponents are selected, immediately go to that roster, check them out. Everyone should be doing this. One person calls out everything out loud, and the other people are just scrolling through to confirm, because they might change, and they do change. A guy changed to a fusion rifle, and he completely wrecked us with it, and I should have been more prepared. So I'd say, all right, we got a gunslinger, thorn, shotgun, Sunsinger self-revive. He has a sniper. Oh, that sniper has final round. Defender Titan, last word, shotgun, things like that. So you need to call out all the primary special guns and the subclasses, know how they work. It's like, say he's running a Defender Titan. He has weapons light on, so no, high-impact snipers are going to kill you in one body shot. Or if he gets it first, not only is he going to drop the bubble, but he's going to drop orbs. The fire team is probably going to have supers at that point, or pretty darn close. So know your opponents inside and out, know the subclasses, know the gun's strength, the gun's weaknesses, and play to it. You guys will be all right. And tip number 2, you're not here to make friends. There are no friends in the Trials of Osiris, all right? The only friends you have in the entire tournament are the other 2 on your fire team. Think about that. I mean, there are millions of players playing, and they don't care, all right? They don't care what gun's overpowered, because people get on the forums, talk about the Thorn, last word, final round. People don't care, all right? What tactics are considered cheesy, like final round or the Thorn, they care about winning, so should you. Bring your best gear, your best guns, and show no mercy. I kid you not, I played against a guy that was using the hard light, man. You gotta bring your best guns. He had no chance, alright? So the maps are gonna be changing every week. Last week, Burning Shrine, I mostly ran the Thorn and Last Word exclusively. Thorn Last Word is what you guys are gonna see a lot, when I'm pretty sure you have. It doesn't matter what map, that's it. You're gonna see those a lot. And this week, I was using the Thorn Last Word and the Mida multi-tool with the Blade Dancer. It was decent for the map. Long sight lines, has hidden high caliber rounds. But really, I used it mostly to run away, right? Or to get places. I was able to get to choke points fast. I was able to, get to sniper points fast. But if I would hear a Gunslinger, Blade Dancer, Sunsinger, like, I would just create space. I would dip. Like, I'd hear it and just be gone and just wait for it to run out. It was fantastic. So try out the Mida. Tip number 3 is to have a plan. Work on your team strategy. Everybody's different. We have all different types of skills, different backgrounds, so have a game plan going in the match. Depending on the map and your playstyle and your team's playstyle, choose what's good for you for the situation. Referring back to the first tip video, be on the outside of the map looking in or the inside of the map looking out. Personally, our team, we use snipers, and I always run sniper, okay? Even if the anomaly came up, I'd be running sniper. That's just the kind of player I am. So whatever kind of player you are, that's okay. Play to the strength. There are a ton of strategies. You have to just find out how you guys want to attack. Some teams are very reserved. They'll be right on their spawn, right? Kind of set up a barrier with snipers. I hate those guys. God, they're so hard to get a hold of. Some people will run together, stick together always. Some teams will send 2 one way and 1 the other, and that's generally what we do. And we're going to be talking about that a little bit later on, trying to box people in. Now, in Burning Shrine last week, we usually did what everybody did, right? We go right to the middle, first couple rounds, go to mid-area, and just have a shootout, see how it plays out. But generally after that, we'd have one person kind of stray out to the left, and he'd be sniping. The other 2 would be right and try to get different angles and try to close in on them. Because the game is all about angles, and I just want to say it one more time, along with angles, the flawless streak is about communication, alright? Be talking. Now in Pantheon, we always had the same starting strat, depending. Now either we all went to the right and then broke off, or just 2 went to the right, 1 went to the left, 2 went left, 1 to the right. That's just how it always planned out, right? Now, tip number 4 is to adapt. Be ready for change. It's not going to go down how you think it is most of the time. Because let's be real, in life, that's just how it goes. How many things do you plan for, and it just doesn't turn out that way? So be ready for change, because there are 2 options. You can either act or react. Generally, we like to set the tone of the game. That's how we like to play. We try to push hard, get good shots in, but then again, if they're trying to do the same thing, we react. We'll talk about that. So say I'm in a snipe spot, enemy's in a snipe spot. Instead of poking in and out, I like to take the shot and advance up. Keep advancing, close in. Meanwhile, my fire team on the other side of the map, they're doing the exact same thing. And what ends up happening is when you overwhelm them, they tend to get cornered. They tend to get flustered, and they do. They don't know what's going on. So when you send 2 one way and 1 the other, you can box them in. So, like I said, I go left. I call out how many are there. If 2 go there, if I call out and there's 2, I immediately call for help. I back off, and a guy from the left with a fire team of 2, 1 breaks off to help me. That way we even up the numbers, because it is a numbers game as well. Now, if there's only 1, it is my job to take him out. This is the ideal situation because it's a win-win. The further he goes out left with me, he's isolating himself, right? So I pretty much need to kill him. Like, the round's done if I kill him, because he's isolating himself. Now, if he goes back right, say I get good shots into him with the thorn or something like that, he's just going to go back to his fire team, but I'm going to keep advancing. The other 2 are advancing, and we're going to corner him in. That's exactly what we want. So, I advance, we box him, and then if I get shots, he's running damaged into them, and if they get shots on the other 2, they're getting damage run into me. It's so awesome. So, imagine the 3 of you when you're running, when you spawn, are just like a chain link fence, always kind of hooked together. The spawns are usually, pretty symmetrical, 1 on one side, 1 on the other, or it's catty corner, and then say there's a 50-yard line in the middle of the board. And the maps are square. Sometimes everyone goes mid-map and they have it out, right? And that's just sometimes how you do it, and it's fun to do it that way if you can win. So, but we usually send 2 one way, 1 the other. Doesn't matter which way or how many go which way, we just do it. Because the goal, like I said, is to box them in. This way, when you're on the left and right of them, and they're in such a small area of the map, you have the whole map to play around with. If they pop a golden gun, you have the whole map to run away. Things like that, and you have more angles to get in on them. So, like I said, we like to pressure our opponents, but sometimes they like to do the same thing, and that's fine. We'll notice this the very first round because we're going hard and they're coming right back hard. It's just like a big brawl, right? It's awesome. But no matter what, we take note of what they do. If they send all 3 this way, if they only send 2, if they always rush and try to blink, we take note of all of that because next round it's not going down like that. We're not doing that again, like I said, regardless if we win or lose. Because players have habits, teams have habits. And it's also your goal is to be unpredictable. So if all 3 of them go right, you know what? We're going left next time. We're going to throw them off because apparently they've always done that to teams and that might work for them. It's not going to work on us, and we're going to let them know that. So tip number 5 is, well, actually, basically you're reacting. Before we go on, you're reacting, and that's what you need to do. If they're rushing, that's fine. We're going to play a little bit more reserved, or we're just going to go somewhere completely different and box them in another way. So tip number 5. If you lose to a good team or you have a bad connection in the game, because the whole goal is to go flawless. That's what we want. If you lose and your buff's gone, stuff just got real, right? Take time, take 5-10 minutes, back out. Make sure that you don't get matched against them again because you don't want to lose again. Or, I mean, we've even won games and the connection's been so bad that we just backed out, right? We waited 5-10 minutes because we don't want to get matched with them again. So whether a connection or you lose, something went wrong that previous game. You, like I said, just take 5-10 minutes, get some coffee, grab you a beer, get you some Mountain Dew, get jacked up, talk about it, talk about strats, what you could have done differently, things like that. So tip number 6 is to play smart. Now, if you do that starting strat of 2 left, 1 right, you have to push as a unit, and I get really aggressive. It's one of my downfalls, and I'm getting better at it. So if I get close, right, on the right side, I'm probably, just rushing, but who knows? The guys that were on the left, they might be sniper suppressed or something. So the situation is they're still back in my spawn, and I'm all the way on the catty corner on the other side of the map. That's no good, right? Unless I take my guy out. So the goal, and like I said, even if you just get good shots in, that's okay. You want them to run to their team. You don't want to run back to yours because that means they're advancing on you. So play smart, move as a unit, and make sure that if somebody goes down, you have to go back. Just play smart. All right. Tip number 7 is to have a battle buddy. We have 2 going one way, 1 going the other, right? And let's be real. You might have a weaker PvP player on your team, and that's okay. Not everybody's good at PvP. You might be the weakest player. Who knows, right? So make sure that that weakest player never gets isolated by himself. He always has a battle buddy. Have him with a skilled player. That way they can feed off each other, put shots into people, or there for revives, or be the float in between 2. right? So there is strength in numbers. So maybe this guy might have a shotgun. Maybe he might watch for flanks and have a shotgun for the flanks. So just like I said, make sure that guy isn't isolated. Work as a unit. And tip number 8 is to use your gear. Now that might sound simple, right? Use your gear. So say I'm a warlock, I run Sunsinger. I got Self Revive, Fireborn. I generally run Light Beyond Nemesis for the quick revives and Gift of the Sun. Now that gives me 2 additional Firebolt grenades. I get 2 grenades, right? So I go throw my 2 grenades. We win the round because we're awesome. Now at the countdown, when the match is over and it's loading up the next game, I switch to the Void Fang Vestments, because the Void Fang, you spawn in with grenades, right? So I spawn in, get my 2 grenades from the Void Fangs, I switch back to my Light Beyond Nemesis, and it doesn't have to be Light Beyond Nemesis, you could be using the Obsidian Mine, any other exotic. The whole thing is so I can get my grenades back, right? So I always have grenades. But it doesn't stop there. Say I'm down, right? I immediately just get dropped, right? I go out, get my face taken off. When I'm at my death screen, I switch onto the Void Fangs, because when I get revived, you get a new life. So any exotic armor piece that gives you new grenades upon spawn is anywhere, like when you get revived or the new round. So generally people are rushing you when people are getting revived, so I spawn in and immediately just dump out those fusions. And a lot of warlocks do that if they have their grenades, but if not, you should do this Void Fang. And same thing with like the Hunter, they have the Lucky Raspberry spawning with Arc Bolt. So be creative, guys, use your gear. That's what I mean by that. Now tip number 8 is the sound of Guardian Down. It makes that little like weird ding noise. But so we're talking about revives and the prevention of revives. So going back to that strategy of 2 go one way, 1 go the other, say I'm the only one going right, 1 enemy goes right, and I just dome him. I take him out. I am hauling it over there, guys. I am booking it, because I'm going to even throw a pre-nade after I kill him, because that means that they're 1 down. It's a numbers game. Remember, 3 on 2. So I'm going over there to prevent the revive. I'm watching his ghost, and that sound should be an alert. I kill him, that's an alert to my other 2 fire, because pretty much at the bottom left, like in patrol, it should, pop up, the wolves are frenzied, right? So let's say I die, worst case scenario. I call out how many are over there, like, oh man, their whole team, all 3 of them. But I can also see the guy that killed me. He's always in red in your death screen, so always keep your team in mind. If that guy's flanking around, always let them know. But say I go down, that's a signal to them. That sound means that they should start gravitating towards me, slowly making their way so we can get the numbers back. So, like I said, regardless of the situation, when you hear that noise, gravitate towards it. In tip number 9, we're going to be talking about supers. You might only get 1 per match, maybe 2, maybe 3 if the orbs are there, maybe not at all, right? So make it count. Know your class's limitations. Gunslingers, Blade Dancers, I love it. You can pop it, you can go, have a good time. And honestly, maybe at the end of round 2, maybe start around 3, if you're doing well, you probably already have your super. I've done it many a times. Use that offensively in round 3, because I guarantee you're probably the only person in the game that has a super, so use it. Now, get your kills and get orbs for your fire team. If you have say, I got Golden Gun. They're going to follow me. They're going to grab the orbs so they can have their supers too. Or maybe you're a Titan Defender. If you go first, drop it wherever you see fit with weapons, armor, blessing, whatever. But most importantly, get those orbs to your teammates. That way you can just strategically talk about the next 3 rounds. Like, all right, if we ever go down, and by the way, if you're a warlock, do not ever self-revive in heavy round. There's just no point. If you lose heavy round, you lose heavy round. That's cool. Whatever. So call out when you have your super. And like when I'm the Titan, I use him very defensively. Just know your class, right? I saw 2 grouped up one time with the Striker Titan, and I Fist of Havoc him. So when I'm playing as a Striker, I'm very defensive. I either use it on as a panic kill. We all do it, right? Say I just need a critical kill. He's closing on me. That way I can just continue pushing up. Or like 20, 30 times, use it on a Blade Dancer, Sunsinger, Gunslinger, things like that. So, because that's where the Striker shines. Now, a last little tip to go flawless, guys. Don't give up. You can do it. Play smart. And most importantly, play together. Again, communication is the best weapon in the Crucible. Call out everything you see, where enemies are going, every moment of the game, whether if they have a super or not. Thank you guys so much for watching my guide. Sorry, I had to cough. I hope you guys learned something and have that winning mentality. Good luck in the Trials of Osiris, my friends. You guys can do it. And until next time, I am Cool Guy.
Perhaps this belongs with you.